G. The question number one is, this is variant one. Question number one is, which structure are present in plant cell but not in animal cell? Cell wall, vacuole, a big vacuole is absent. So answer is B. Yes, yes, yes. So in animals, there are vacuoles which store the waste. There are vacuoles which store the waste. So sap vacuole is related to the turgidity that maintains the turgidity of cell. It absorbs. Exactly. Exactly. Correct. Okay. The wobbegong or carpet shark is a type of shark that spends its time resting on the seafloor. There are 12 different species of this shark, and the largest is this. What is the genus name? So, in a binomial system, we have two names. The first name is called as, and the second one is known as species. That should be written in a smaller letter. So, what is the name of the genus? Arctobulus, lobus, Arctolobus. Okay, the bacterium Vibrio cholera that causes the cholera function is given they release toxin they and that toxin act on the intestinal wall. It causes the chloride to move out of the cell into the small intestine, and this process can lead to the high amount of watery diarrhea. So osmosis, because the water also moves out to accommodate those chloride ions, due to which there would be water loss through feces. Which movement of substance in a plant requires the plant to provide energy? Because this one is active trans. What is the first movement? Diffusion. So first one is diffusion, first two are diffusion. C1 is active transport, and last one is correct, transpirational pull. Okay. A DNA consists of many nucleotides. A molecule, is it correct? Okay, we have to tell which statement. Is it correct? Okay. It consists of many nucleotides, correct? Okay, okay, no. A nucleotide contains three components, that is deoxyribose sugar, nitrogenous bases, and phosphate linkage. Exactly. So this contains three. Otherwise, there are many nucleotides. Okay. A molecule of glycogen consists of many glucose molecule. Yes, glycogen is also a carbohydrate. A molecule of lipid consists of glycerol and amino acid. No, fatty acid. So only 1 and 2 is correct. A graph is given, and it student investigate the effect of temperature on the digestion of starch to form maltose. They added the volume of they added equal volume of amylase and starch solution to a number of test tubes. Then the test tubes were left for 30 minutes at a range of temperature between 10 to 60, mean 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Then they measure the concentration of starch. So, which graph was produced from the result? Would the concentration of starch decreases or increases? Okay, okay. So wait, it's a general thing. Would the reactant increase or decrease? The reactant would decrease. Okay, this you should be your first. So answer could be A or B. Okay. Let's move to next part. They have given you something related to temperature. So temperature, when there is high temperature, there would be denaturation. Which graph is showing? Okay, so A is showing denaturation. The next one is the graph shows the rate of photosynthesis in plant in a full sunlight. Mean light intensity is not a limiting factor because light is fully available, and there are two different temperatures given. So temperature can be limiting factor because it's increasing or decreasing the rate of photosynthesis. Okay, at normal atmospheric carbon dioxide, what limits the rate of photosynthesis? Is okay. At a certain wait, it's a full light. Full light. Just now we have discussed. It's a full light. This is not a limiting factor. At temperatures are given. Okay, temperatures are given, but okay, wait. What is the normal range of carbon dioxide in atmosphere? Hmm. 0.04%. Okay, so it means it lies over here. Let's match this point. So let's say this one is X. So carbon dioxide itself is a limiting factor. Okay, the diagram shows a section through a dicotyledon leaf which cells cannot photosynthesize. B. These are epidermal cells. They do not have chloroplast. Why? Correct. Correct. And what is the characteristic of C? Like what is the adaptation of C? Correct. Excellent. And what is the adaptation of D? These are guard cells. Control the opening and closing of stomata. Correct. Okay. A leafy stem is given. So it is stained red in some dye. Dye is taken up by which tissue? A xylem or phloem? A xylem. So xylem present inside or outside? Inside. Correct. So in leaf, where is xylem present? Upper part. Good. The diagram shows the movement of water through the leaf. So first of all, they enter through guards. Sorry, from the xylem vessel, water moves to the palisade cells, then to the air spaces, and then move out. Okay, which movements take place? 1 till 2 is osmosis, correct. Evaporation. And 4 till 5 is so evaporation and diffusion. So answer is D, correct. Okay, a diagram is given and is related to digestive system. What part produces bile and what store bile? Bile is produced by liver and store in what? What is this bile gland? Okay. Gallbladder is four. Third is pancreas. It's a leaf-like structure. Okay, pancreas is a leaf-like structure. 1 and 4. Okay, four test tubes. Okay, there are many test tubes with different pH. Okay, let's focus on the question first. The five test tubes contain cooked egg white are shown below. Cooked egg white contain a protein. A protease solution is set up for different pH are added to each test tube. So we have protease. What pH is required by protease? First of all, alkaline. Wait, protease is present in two parts of the digestive system. One is stomach and other is small intestine. Okay, the stomach has acidic pH while small intestine has alkaline around 8. Okay, so they have shown you some results. There are four results given. Okay. Protease and digested egg white is given by a darker color, while the undigested is given as lighter color. So we say the digestion would take place in 2 and 8. So first and third test tube. Are we saying this? Okay. So according to this, is there any other part given? From the stomach, they have given us part. From the stomach. That would be only first one. No. No. Wait. The pH is acidic. Acidic pH is less than 7. Oh my god. Less than 7. So it there would be more digestion in 2 and less digestion in 5. So what represented? There would be no digestion above 7. No, wait. This one is this digested? No digestion. So it's C. So there would be no digestion in this part. Okay? Okay, which diagram represent the absorption of different molecules into the villi? So the four keys are given. Where is amino acid absorbed? Okay, a structure of villi is given. A structure of villi is given. Where is amino acid absorbed? Into the blood. Okay, fatty acid, lactyle, glucose, glycerol. So this pentagon square should be, let's see, pentagon, is it shown in D and square? Yes. So the answer is D. Okay. 14th one. The diagram shows the changes that occur in a thorax after breathing. What changes happen during inspiration? Now, you inhaled. So, what would happen to the muscles? The intercostal muscles, external intercostal muscle, the diaphragm. Diaphragm is also a muscle. Okay. So, diaphragm move down by contract. So, it's A or D. Okay. Diaphragm contract. Also contract. It's A. So, hmm, okay. Volume is inversely proportional to pressure. Scientists have concluded that the absorption of mineral iron in plant requires energy. Okay, which observation best support this conclusion? Carbohydrate is stored in the roots. Okay, it has no explanation with this energy. Living roots give off carbon dioxide. No. The roots have large surface area. No. Uptake of mineral iron reduced in lower oxygen. Good. Less energy, so less uptake. When people travel in aircraft and sit still in their seat for a longer time, their legs may swell up. Why would this happen? What do you think? Fewer leg muscle contraction occur to push up blood along the, okay. The rate of heartbeat is reduced. Okay, this has nothing to do with this. There is a little or no atrial blood pressure to force the, okay, there is atrial blood pressure. No, valves, okay, there is, but not, it's, we basically relate blood pressure with ventricles, not atrials. Valves in the veins do not fill up the blood to prevent its backflow. No. So the only answer, logical answer is A. Because the leg contraction is lesser, so it may blood may pass slowly. Okay, which cell is this? Phagocyte. A lymphocyte have a bigger nucleus. 18. Which statement about mosquitoes are correct? Where mosquitoes lay their eggs and what is the sex of and female? So it's C. Correct. Next one is the spread of HIV was reduced in many countries between this year. What action, okay, which action assisted this reduction? Education. Because there is no effective vaccine yet. So, education, yes. Treating patients with new antibiotics. Antibiotics do not work on viruses. Using drug that slow the appearance of, okay, no. So, that is health education. Hmm. Wait, wait. The word is antibiotics, and these are specific for bacteria, not for virus. For viruses, there would be antivirals. Like for fungus infection, there would be fungal antifungals. Okay, and okay, antibodies are different, and antibiotics are different. You need to check the term. Okay, I hope it was antibiotic. Okay, yes, antibodies is for all, and that is produced by your body. Okay, antibodies can be taken passively as well. There was a treatment called as the plasma transfer, so in which plasma is injected into the person, that plasma contains the antibodies. This practice was common at the early arrival of COVID. The people they transfuse the plasma of the healthy person, means the person who recovered. They donate their plasma to just to transfer the antibodies into the uh, diseased person. Or okay, so it's a passive. It's a form of passive immunity when you take antibodies from some other source or some other individual. Okay. What statement about the immune system is correct? A pathogen has its own antigen which have the same shape as antibodies. Correct. Stimulate an immune response by phagocyte. Phagocyte do not produce antibodies. Active immunity involve acquiring antibody from other. No, that is passive immunity. Antibodies are protein molecules. Yes, that bind to antigens. Yes. Let's see. I hope this. I think this one is correct. Either leading to the destruction of pathogen, yes, or marking a pathogen for the destruction by phagocyte. This one is more okay. No, no. Okay. Antibodies have a complementary shape to antigens, not antigens have a complementary shape to antibodies. Okay. So D1 is correct. That's why I read all the like options before marking it. So you also need to read all the options. Okay, before choosing your answer. Okay, for which disease can antibiotics be effective? Just now we have discussed bacterial infection. Okay, next one is related to the excretory system. Okay, this this one is renal vein and this one is renal artery. Okay, so what are the structure X, Y, and Z? Z1 is simple. This one is ureter. Okay, what would be X and Y? Artery, vein. So the answer is A. So how do I say this? Whatever takes the blood away from the organ but towards heart, that's a vein. And what takes the blood towards the organ and away from heart is artery. Okay. No, 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 no. Because there is no such logic. There's no logic for this question. Okay, nerve impulses in neurons can travel. Okay, away from the central nervous system. Yes, towards the, okay. If they take away from the nervous system, what are those neurons? Motor neurons. Towards the central nervous system and within the central nervous system. Okay, so what are relay and what is you have to identify? And sensory is 2, so it's D. Okay, a graph is given. Okay, we have to calculate the percentage. Okay, the diameter is given at different light intensities, so the diameter decreases basically. What is the percentage decrease in pupil diameter rounded to one decimal place when a person moves from an area of complete darkness to an area of light intensity 10,000 arbitrary unit? Mean you have to tell exactly from here. Initial minus final over initial multiply by 100. I want you to do this one. Let's say it's 5 and 5.2, 5.4, 5.6, and I guess it's 5.7. Let's say 5.7, and then it's 2.2, 2.4, and 2.6. What's your answer? 4.4. Yes, correct. So what's the original answer? 54 point? What? Wait, let me do this. It's 5.7. It's in the middle. Look now. It's done. So it's then 54.38, which would be rounded off to 54.4. Okay, when a person is frightened, there is an increase in blood sugar level. So we discussed this earlier as well, that this prepares the body for the increased activity. Okay, Raynaud syndrome is a condition that is triggered by stress. It causes the hand and feet to react as if they were affected by extreme cold. So extreme cold means, will there be vasoconstriction or will there be vasodilation? Vasoconstriction. Okay, and how do we define vasoconstriction? Blood vessel at the skin surface narrow, so reducing blood flow or increasing the blood flow? Reducing blood flow. A is the correct answer. Okay, then we have to check the effect of oxygen as a negative gravitropism. Okay, what is gravitropism? The stem grow away from gravity. So it can be A or B. So we are ruling out this. Okay. Okay. Let's see what can be answer. Oxygen diffuses down the stem. Correct. Oxygen collected on the lower side where there is less light. So oxygen collect on that side which receives less light. So it is correct. Cell elongation is stimulated on the lower side of stem. Correct. So wherever there is oxygen, there is growth. Let's look at the second one. Oxygen diffuses up the stem. No, because we have clearly said that oxygen diffuses down the stem. It's a general thing. Okay. The diagram shows some stages during the asexual reproduction in a single cell organism. Let's say bacteria. Okay, first of all, their chromosomes, they get, okay, it's a asexual reproduction. So the second step is where they get duplicated, and then there would be division into two cells. What the relative amount of DNA in each of the following? So 1, 2, 2, 1, and 1. Correct. Okay. Why does this duplication take place? It's a mitosis. So why does duplication takes place? Why is why is replication important? Let's say to maintain the equal or the same number of chromosomes in the daughter cells. So chromosomes replicate to maintain the same number of chromosome in the daughter cells. Clear? Okay, asexual reproduction involves the cell cycle in which cell divides and then grow, and DNA synthesis take place before the cell is ready to divide again. That is replication. A diagram shows the stages in one complete cycle. A cell take almost 1.75 hours to complete. Using the diagram, which activity in the cycle takes 52 minutes? Let's the what? Okay, 1.7 hour means 1.75 hours mean 1 hour and 45 minutes. Okay, so it would be okay. Are you sure these are 7? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Wait. No, 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 no. It cannot be. DNA synthesis has a lesser impact, quite a lesser impact. It would be around 30 to 40% of time. So nucleus division is also not there. Cytoplasm division is also not there. So the largest impact is by cell growth. Look, there are two cell growths. There are two areas which shows the cell growth. So it would be cell growth. Okay, a diagram is given for each type of flower with its feature. So one is insect pollinated and other is wind pollinated. Let's generally discuss. Insect pollinated because they need to attract the insect. They would have nectar. Okay, they would have a brighter color. Okay, and they would have sticky ends so that sticky stigma so that they can get attached to insect legs. Okay, and the wind pollinated would be light weighted and they would be like hanging up in the air. Okay, so let's see which is the answer. Let's see. Insect pollinated has anther loosely attached. No, first one is incorrect itself. That is not insect pollinated. Okay, insect pollinators had large feathery stigma. No. Insect pollinated have small sticky stigma. Yes. Okay, let's focus on this one first. Then it has stamen with short filament. Yes, it can be because the animal has to or the insect has to land on it, so it would be short. Wind pollinated are loosely attached. Yes. Wind pollinated are large feathery. Yes. Wind pollinated are lightweighted. Yes. So I guess it's C. We can move to D as well. Okay, small light pollens. Okay, light is not a feature of insect one. So the only correct option is C. What is the sequence of the organ that a sperm must pass through so it can fertilize egg cell? We have to start from sperm duct. That would be first one. Okay. So yes, it's A. So this first two is for the male. That sperm from sperm duct they enter the urethra and then through vagina they enter the cervix and then to the uterus where they fertilize or oviduct where they fertilize the egg. Okay, the diagram shows the uterus lining. It gets thickened over like in this, let's say, second and third week, and it breaks down in the fourth week, that is 28 days. At what time the woman most likely to be fertile? B. When the lining is thick. Okay, what is an example of discontinuous variation? Okay, blood group. So, discontinuous variation is only affected by genes or genetic variation, while the continuous one is affected by both genes and environment. So all other three are affected by the environments. Okay, night blindness is inherited, in which people usually have a poor night vision when light levels are low. A couple 4 and 5 are expecting their second child. 7. What is the percentage? The very first thing they have given us, it would be male. So whatever the percentage is, that would be half. So what do you think? Why do you think so? Okay. Both are both have, let's say, normal site. Both have normal site and both are carriers because one of their kid have the night blindness. So they both are carriers. Let's make a table. Let's make a table to have a better understanding. If both are carriers, let's say capital B and small b, capital B and small b, capital B, capital B, capital B, small b, capital B, small b, and small b and small b. Correct? So 1 out of 4 is the case. And if we talk about like the answer will be 0.25 and if we half it, right? Because we have to tell the male only 0.125. Clear? Okay, what is essential for natural selection? Variation, yes. They would survive if there is genetic variation. Correct. The gene for human insulin production can be inserted into the bacterial DNA for the production of insulin. What is the advantage of using this type of insulin to be for a patient of diabetes? Number one, any offspring of the patient will be protected. No, because you are like it would be passive then. It won't be transferred to the offspring. The patient's pancreas will start producing insulin when is needed by the body. No, the insulin gene would be replaced. Genes are not replaced. The patient will not suffer any side effect from using insulin produced in animals. Yes. Which row identify the organisms in the food chain? Producers are plants, okay. Herbivores, okay, correct. And the carnivore is dog. Next one is there are three mesh size given, means the net size. Okay, so what are they studying? They are studying students have to decay of leaf in the garden soil, and they use different mesh size, seal them and buried them for each month for 5 months of the bag were dug up and total percentage loss in the mass is calculated. Okay, this is the reduction. There would be increase in mass and increase is given. Okay, what can the student conclude from this result? So the total percent. Okay. The larger the faster the rate of decay. Correct. And you can find the rate by just dividing these two. It would be around, I don't know what would be value, but you can check. You can check the percentage. Okay. Population of animals are affected by diseases, number of predators, and the supply of food. What row would lead to the most growth in population size? Disease, decrease, predator, decrease, population size would increase. Okay, how which human activity has caused most damage to the tropical rainforest? Cutting reforestation. Correct. Okay, this is all for today's paper. Okay. Ecology is important. There must be one question in the P4. Must be.